President Trump has tapped former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Dr. Ben Carson as a senior national advisor for nutrition, health, and housing at the USDA to make America healthy again. And joining us this morning to discuss his new role, Dr. Ben Carson. Good morning to you, sir. Always great to see you.
Good morning, Jen. Good to be with you.
You know, as a retired neurosurgeon, your insight and expertise is so crucial here. Tell us about the Make America Healthy Again agenda and how you're going to be leading that commission.
Well, the reason that it's so important is if we look at what's going on in our country, we have massive increase in unhealthy conditions, obesity, psychiatric things. You know, you look at the explosion, for instance, in autism spectrum disorder. It has gone from 1 to 4 in 10,000 to 1 in 36 or 1 in 31, depending on which study you look at. That's a massive increase. That's not a coincidence. There's obviously something going on in our society which needs to be looked at. We also look at the fact that our life expectancy is going in the wrong direction, whereas many other industrialized nations, it continues to increase. It tells us once again that there's something going on. We're putting artificial sweeteners, colors, all kinds of things into our foods without paying close attention to what they're doing. And one of the things that we're looking at is what's going on in some of the places that are also industrialized nations, but where their life expectancy is continuing to go up. You know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just need to open our eyes and pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, to your point, I was reading this morning, 6 in 10 Americans are living with at least one chronic disease. How much of that is influenced through poor nutrition?
I think a great deal of it is. I have a very close friend who was suffering from diabetes, and it was really very problematic. And he's been in Italy for the last 2.5 months, and his diabetes disappeared. His doctors are quite amazed, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's been staying at a villa where they grow their own food. It's fresh every day. He's not eating a lot of processed materials. And that's something that we really need to look at, particularly the preservatives that are used. What are those doing to our bodies and to the various mechanisms that were created to take care of problems in our bodies?
And to your point, the Department of Agriculture wants to also bar anyone who receives government help for food from using their benefits to buy junk food. So how are you going to influence Americans to show them what a healthy diet looks like?
Well, I think a lot of it is information. If you keep the information away from the people, they're not going to benefit. And I think we need to start thinking about how do we label foods, not to make things mandatory, but so that people are informed. Is this a good choice? Is this something that is actually nutritious, or is it just junk food? Right now, we really don't have a good mechanism to communicate that, and we want that to be something that people can find quite easily.
Well, we know the department is going to be updating the dietary guidelines for Americans this year. What are some recommendations that we could see in those dietary guidelines?
Well, for one thing, fresh fruits and vegetables without a lot of preservatives is going to be one of the guidelines. Also, people don't recognize the importance of hydration in the whole nutrition process. Most people don't drink a lot of water. They drink a lot of coffee and sodas. Those things actually require work on behalf of your body in order to expel some of the ingredients that they're bringing into your body. So if you look at the blue zones, these are places where you have a large number of people who live to be 100 years old. There's like 6 or 7 of them in the world. Look at what the lifestyles of those people are. They have a lot in common. Drinking a lot of water, getting exercise, getting regular sleep, fresh, unprocessed foods. Those seem to be the real commonalities in those areas, and those are the things we need to get back to. We have the ability to do this. We have the technology to do it. We know we have the knowledge. We just need to have the will to do it.
Dr. Ben Carson, always a pleasure to talk to you, sir, and get your expertise on this. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you.